Delinquents forgiven. Albany City and Albany County working to straighten out a property tax mess that caused dozens of seniors not to pay what they owed, and it resulted in some penalties. Matt Markham is live in the newsroom to explain what the city and the county are going to do about all this. Matt?
Well, Greg, I know you've heard the old phrase, sometimes the best of intentions don't go unpunished. And what the city says it was trying to do here was to make bills easier to understand. And that caused some seniors to miss making payments. So imagine their surprise when they not only got the notice of the missing payments, but also of the interest and penalties accruing.
Instead of saying total tax due, we put the amount due, and that was the first installment.
A new bill and new problems for Albany's treasurer, taking blame for the city on the failure of 138 seniors to pay property taxes they owed. Seniors who qualify for a special program only have to pay half their taxes at a time each year. 2012's bills only listed that half owed instead of the full amount. When some saw the second bill arrive, they looked at the stub and thought they already paid up.
I could see how it could be confusing for an elderly person.
The county acts as the city's unpaid tax debt collection service. The 11th District County Legislator says any interest and penalties should be forgiven.
When you talk about this legislation, when are you going to introduce it, and when could we actually see some benefit going to these people?
We're working on it now. I have my counsel working on it, and I'll be introduced next month's meeting, and hopefully we can fast track it and get it done very quickly.
Back at the treasurer's office, the new form also works for the new automated system processing payments. It may be here to stay, displaying half the amount owed.
Under that system, if we had a different amount there, any senior who paid just the first installment, that payment would have been rejected as an underpayment.
What can be done to prevent something like this from happening again?
Well, again, I'm sending out a notice to all seniors who only made that first installment payment this year, so that they'll be getting a letter. It'll be on bright yellow paper, and it'll really explain the process to them.
Well, Legislator Domalewicz will formally bring up the issue of forgiving the interest and the penalties for the 138 seniors at the Albany County Legislature meeting. That's planned for the second Monday of May. The city has also asked for the forgiveness of penalties for 2013 bills that were due in January, Greg.
All right, Matt, so possibly no penalties, but the seniors, they're still going to be on the hook for those second installments, right? The property taxes actually due?
Yeah, and half the full payment that they should have paid for 2012 or anything else that's owed too. Now, since our story went on at 5 o'clock, a gentleman called me telling me that he was hit with a $50 penalty for 2012 and $500 total in taxes. He wrote the checks out immediately, even though he says he didn't receive a second notice. He will still have to pay the $500. He may get the $50 back if the legislature acts, and our viewer is really furious that he got a notice in the first place, telling me that over 40 years, never missed a payment.
Yeah, it's a mess. All right, thank you very much, Matt. We are just about a month away from Albany.